financial side of freelancing or being a digital nomad.
Management of personal funds, or the, the difficulty of separating your personal fund and the fund of another business. For example, if you have multiple business engagements, but it was okay. It was fine because I think it's better for you to learn and be involved in the business world early on, because I can afford to fail.
Make mistakes and learn from them.
So I can afford to fail, and you don't have that many responsibilities or accountabilities yet. No.
To as a
So,
freelancer.
For example, when people think of, or when people hear the words personal finance,
Yeah.
they get intimidated because, oh, it's finance. Diba? But actually, personal finance is more personal than finance.
Okay.
Finance will always,
sense.
it will always be there, diba? SSS, you can't really argue with all these other benefits, all this investment. It's math. Yeah, math is math. Your numbers do not lie. But what stops, or who decides to pursue that or to not pursue that, is ultimately the person and their behavior and their habits and their biases.
Yes, I agree.
So you have breathing, you can still breathe. When you're sinking in the water, you're able to breathe. Yeah. Something like that. It's very basic, but what stops, like, I think savings were taught in school, elementary. But somehow, some way, somewhere along the line, when people graduated college or or stopped college and then started working, we somehow forget. Diba? So it boils down to really the person, or what a person's personal experience is. So for example, if a person, let's say during the global financial crisis,
Yeah.
person lost a lot of money. So after that, because it could be traumatizing, that person will now be more conservative. That person will now be more risk averse when it comes to savings, or not savings, but more on investing. So they will become very skeptical and very conservative. So life experience also matters, and part of that life experience is also your habits that you've built, even if you have the knowledge. But so that I also keep on repeating some concepts in my blog, in my column, or in people who ask advice from me, is that if knowledge is power, what is more powerful than knowledge? It is habits, the habits of people. Because even if you know that something is wrong, or you have to do something but you don't do it, why? It's largely it's a habit thing, or it could be cultural, but it's ultimately our habits like dictate what we do most of the time. So some people prefer routine because they're used to it, but once they get out of it, there's a period of adjustment until they're okay without routine.
Yeah. So when it comes to savings, do you have any, I don't know, rule of thumb? Like how many months worth of savings should you save before you quit your job and become a freelancer or something like that?
The typical advice is 6 months emergency fund.
Okay.
So 6 months worth of your monthly salary that you
Alright.
have to save. But that it still depends. Really depends on what you want after. If you're planning to transition, so you cannot follow that, because you will have something in mind. You will have something to plan. You've already planned.
Yeah.
So the 6 months emergency worth of monthly salary is mostly used for emergencies, really. But it's still a good rule of thumb if you want to transition to
Yeah.
the freelancing, because it's very difficult to say what will happen when you transition.
Yeah. It's not always that you can get a client right away after you quit your office job. Although another thing that I can suggest is if you have the time and if you have the energy before you quit your job, start already doing some work online as a sideline, and then maybe you can tell your client that, hey, I'm about to quit my office job. Maybe you can increase my hours or workload. True. So that's one thing that you can do to ensure the continuity of your income. But if that's not gonna happen, and then you're really want to pursue freelancing, then yeah, around 6 months savings.
And you also have to adjust your expenses,
Yeah.
meaning you have to adjust your lifestyle first
So first,
before
cut
you
down on the eating out and the high-end coffees and milk teas.
Yeah, and also it's also a good opportunity, to make other positive excuses like, oh, I'm gonna change my lifestyle, I'm gonna be more frugal, meaning it's like a lifestyle fitness goal. You have now fitness goals. You can now eat healthier or lesser or avoid the meats and start living off of fish.
But fish these days are so expensive.
Things like
But
that.
yes, but yeah, the idea there is not only can you adjust your budget, but your whole lifestyle and anything related that can affect your monthly budget and expenses. Basically.
So another example I have is that it's like a joke that we had when I was with my colleagues before in the corporate world, that before we were promoted, um, we always we always think of, like, we were able to survive with that entry level salary, then for sure we will
Yeah.
you will be able to survive with
Again,
in that state. So for the watchers or the viewers, you can also go extreme by saying, hey, you can try to live off of the food you had during college, then you'll be fine. You'll survive.
The thing that I did when I started out as well, because as I said, I didn't have any savings, was I did not go out for a month. Well, the good thing about being a freelancer is you can work at home, and so you don't have to spend more fare and contend with traffic. So that's a good thing. And so yeah, I just did not go out for a month. I just told my friends who wanted to see me, I'm not going out this month unless you are paying for everything. So yeah, it's good to have savings and have a buffer of sorts for your transition. What are your thoughts about getting SSS, Pag-ibig, and PhilHealth as a freelancer? Like, should you get those? Are they worth the time, or would it be better to invest the money into savings, mutual funds, stock investing? Just put that in your bank and then use that whenever there's an emergency. What do you think?
First of all, you have to understand what those benefits are. So SSS, Social Security System, Pag-ibig is a home development fund, and then PhilHealth is healthcare. It's a public healthcare.
Yeah.
So I'll start with PhilHealth. I think it's very useful because it's cheap
Oh yeah.
compared to the private.
And I think there's a law recently that everyone is automatically enrolled to PhilHealth.
I have to check
I
that,
think
but yeah, it's cheap. The contributions are cheaper, but of course you have to deal with red tape. But of course, for people who have taken advantage of it, it can be a lifesaver. So I think yes, for PhilHealth, for Pag-ibig, its purpose, the purpose of Pag-ibig is really to encourage Filipinos to get to get a house or to get a home. So that's the mandate of Pag-ibig. So if you want to contribute, once again, yes, it's also very helpful compared to plain the banking loan, because essentially Pag-ibig as a home development fund, it allows you to borrow money at a very low rates.
And for longer terms.
Yeah, and for longer terms. So usually for banks, it's only up to 15 or let's say 20 years.
Yeah.
And then for pag-ibig, it can go to 25 years to 30 years depending on what type of property it is,
Yeah.
or depending on your
So
salary
basically,
range.
if you have a goal of getting a property or house
Yes,
later on, then pag-ibig is a worthy investment.
yes. And then for SSS, Social Security Fund, of course, once again, as a social security measure, it has its purpose. Aside from the regular contribution, there like Pag-ibig and SSS, they also have like their own investment funds available, so you can look into that. So these things are mandated by the government for a reason,
Yeah.
for security, for hope, for getting a house and healthcare. So I would say yes, it's very important, and it's a cheaper alternative compared to the private. With regards to investing, similarly to investing, it really depends on what you want, or your goal. For if you want something cheaper and affordable and yet still effective, yes, go get those benefits on your own. It's still gonna be worth it, especially the PhilHealth.
Yeah.
For investing, that's still dependent on your goal, on what you want to use that money for. So, diba? Why do you, when people ask me, like, or when they say something to me like, I want to be rich, I want to make a million, I want to make millions. Okay, so for what? Then they cannot answer.
Yeah.
Diba? If you want to make money, then it at the most basic level, if you want to make money, it means you want to buy something. So what you want to buy?
That may be your house, property, security
Yes.
for old age, etc.
Travel.
Yeah.
If you want pure funds for you starting your own business,
Yeah.
because freelancing mostly is service-based businesses. If you want to start like something else, like brick and mortar,
Yeah,
business
or online selling, businesses that you need
manufacturing,
capital.
yes, businesses that require bigger capital, then yes, go for it. What people need to do first is self-awareness.
Okay.
And with self-awareness, it's really just reflecting on what you really want, what you really want to do for the rest of your life, because that will dictate everything else. Like if let's say you want to be, let's say, a very successful entrepreneur, but you don't have capital, then you can start. Then you can everything aligns. Diba? You will know what next steps to take. Like, okay, I need to adjust my lifestyle because I need more capital. If that's not enough, then you need to invest that capital to make it grow faster. So that will tell you your next steps. Like, okay, I know what to do next. I know what to do next. I know what to do next. So self-awareness, and because yeah, I think it's an underrated thing that's not being talked about, because it's difficult to really talk about, and it's not
Yeah.
sexy to talk about, because what people want to hear is that, okay, give me investment advice without context.
Yeah.
And if they fail, it's the person who's giving the advice's fault.
Yeah.
It should not be the case, because you just followed somebody. Although I mentioned that that yeah, it's okay to follow other people's investment, so long as you understand why they made those strategies. But if you just follow blindly, of course you will more chances of losing money.